All right, Shalom. There's a brother Nahalia from the GMS Orlando camp. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yasher Allah, and a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwath, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. All right, I want to go into a lesson through the Spirit on a lively hope. Because we are in beautiful times through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai. Though, persecution is coming, Jacob's trouble, being on the earth as pilgrims, these things are also coming down the pipeline. But at the same time, through the Spirit, the Lord said, what? Let's go here. It's Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 7 says, Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, and this is extremely important. This is why the scriptures talk about having a lively hope. All right. Matter of fact, let's do this. This is 1 Peter chapter 1 and 1. Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahweh the Father, through the sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Now, what stands out is the foreknowledge. All right, as a matter of fact, when you get the Greek word for foreknowledge, it's prognosis. All right, and it says foreknowledge, forethought, prearrangement. So even having this truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai is a prearrangement. It's not an accident. And the reason I bring this out through the Spirit is because we live in the flesh, all right? And one of the best things the flesh does to you is sow or attempt to sow doubt. Whenever you think about the worst case scenario and the disappointments in the world, all of those things are carnal. It's not of the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's why you have to fight it with this truth, with this understanding, with these words, which are the comforter, all right? Matter of fact, let's go here. This is Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. And it reads, For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. And that's important. It says that all of these things were written that we might have hope. So we can see what the Lord did for our forefathers in the past time and have confidence that the Lord is capable of doing it again for yourself personally. Because at some point, your faith has to become more personal. You have to believe that the Lord can and will deliver you. That's that lively hope. A lively hope is a healthy expectation. It means that, the closest thing I can think about, and I bring it out a lot, is when you were a child growing up, whatever holiday, whether it was a Christmas or it was one of those, the day before there was an excited hope. It wasn't a frantic, maybe this is not going to happen. It's I know it's going to happen and I can't wait to see it. That is a lively hope. All right. And when you look at what the Lord has done for us as a nation of people in past time, it's not us. But again, it goes back to faith. So I want to get this really quick. I want to get the Greek word for lively. Salakia. So in verse 3, the Greek word for lively is zio. Zio. All right. And it says to live, breathe, be among the living, not lifeless, not dead. We shouldn't have a dead hope. All right. To enjoy real life, Lord willing. That's why we hasten the day. To have true life and worthy of the name, active, blessed, endless in the kingdom of Yahweh Shema Shai. To live an example, past life in the manner of the living and acting of mortals or character, living water, having vital power in itself and exerting the same upon the soul. Metaphor, to be in full vigor. All right. As a matter of fact, let's get this word vigor. All right. Vigor says strength, energy, or enthusiasm. So this is describing the type of hope, the type of hope that Peter is talking about is a enthusiastic, energetic hope of faith, man. All right. We have to have that expectation through the Spirit that the Lord is a power of His word, because He is. And this will develop rejoicing. At that point, you begin to rejoice in the Lord because you trust the Lord. When you look at our nation and the mistakes we've made as a people, it really all boils down to a lack of trust. Our people's inability to trust Yahweh Shem Shai as they should, even though He never gave them a reason to not trust. All right. Matter of fact, let's go to Hebrews, the 4th chapter. It's Hebrews 4:1. And it reads, "Let us therefore fear, lest a promise being left us of entering into His rest, any of you should seem to come short of it. For unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them. But the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it." All right. And this has been a continual problem for our people. All right. A lack of faith. But to have this truth through the Spirit is a gift. All right. You've been given a gift, because the ability to believe on the Lord according to faith is something that's given to you. All right. This is Ephesians 2:8. It reads, "For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of Yahweh Shem Shai, not of works, lest any man should boast." So you didn't will yourself to the Lord. Ultimately, the Lord made the decision. You don't choose the Lord chooses you. And there should be a expectation, along with that. When you understand that, you should expect the victory, as it says in 2 Maccabees, the 15th chapter. All right, real quick, this is Psalm 65:4. It says, "Blessed is the man whom thou choosest, and causest to approach unto thee, that he may dwell in thy courts. We shall be satisfied with the goodness of thy house, even of thy holy temple." So you don't choose the Lord chooses you. But once you're chosen through the Spirit, you have to have confidence that the Lord will see it through. I think about Ezekiel comes to mind. When you think about, let's get it. All right, when you think about Ezekiel and the prophets of Baal, all right, he was confident. All right, he didn't doubt. He was confident. He knew the Lord could deliver. All right, so I'm gonna go to, let's get it. So we're gonna start at the top of it. So it's 1 Kings chapter 18, because this is a display of faith. All right, this is a complete display of faith. It's 1 Kings 18:20. "So Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long halt ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord. And the God that answereth by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, It is well spoken. And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, Choose you 1 bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your gods, but put no fire under. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called on the name of Baal from morning even until noon, saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered, and they leaped upon the altar which was made. And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them. Now I want to stop there, because that's a display of faith, to mock them. There's an expectation that Elijah had in this moment, in this time, in this account. Well, he knew the Lord would come through for him. You know, when you look at our forefathers in the ancient world, confident in the Lord, the righteous ones, they were confident in the Lord. They believed that the Lord would deliver. They had an expectation that the Lord could do and will do great things. You know, we have to follow suit with that same expectation if we continue to serve the Lord to the best of our ability. And these things were written aforetime so that we could have that type of hope, that type of lively hope. All right. Just because the world done disappointed you, you know, the things that you don't went through in your life, it don't mean the Lord is the same way. You know, and those are things we have to unlearn as we come into this truth. All right, this is 1 Kings chapter 18 and 27. And it reads, and it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking, or he is pursuing, or he is in a journey, or peradventure, which means perhaps, he sleepeth and must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancets, till the blood gushed out upon them. And it came to pass when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him. And he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Lord. And when he made a trench about the altar, as great as wood contained 2 measures of seed, he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice and on the wood. So he's showing like we're gonna drench the altar. All right, we're gonna drench it so you know that it's the Lord that's doing this. It ain't no dry fire, it ain't just happen to this is the Lord. And this is how confident he was that he told him to fill 4 barrels with water and pour it on the sacrifice and the wood. All right, verse 34 reads, and he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it the third time. And they did it the third time. And when the water ran about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. So he filled the trench, and they dumped all this water on the altar. Now watch this. 1 Kings 18 and 36. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Lord, Yahweh Shai, power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art God in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Lord power, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, the Lord, he is the power. The Lord, he is Yahweh Shemel Shai, he's the power. All right, now I read all of that because this showed Elijah's faith throughout the entire process. You know, a lot of times we read the conclusion of a lot of faithful men's stories, you know, but in the middle of it, that's where the trust is important. Having that expectation that the Lord will deliver, because he will. All right, this is 2 Maccabees chapter 15 and 6. I'll start at 7. And it reads, but Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him. Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which shall come unto them from the Almighty. That doesn't need a breakdown. You know, that's plain. You know, he made it clear he reminded our people during that time of what the Lord has done for us before. And these are the accounts that we should hold fast to. All right, whenever you have those weak moments in the spirit, you should hold fast to these accounts in the scriptures that remind us that the Lord can and will do great things, man. All right. And that's where that lively hope will spring from. That expectation that no matter what, the Lord can and will deliver. You wouldn't be here if the Lord didn't, as it stands this day. All right. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 15 and 6 in the Good News translation. It says, but Judas was fully confident that the Lord would help him. So he urged his men not to be afraid of the enemy. He encouraged them to remember how the Almighty had helped them in times past and to rest assured that he would give them victory this time also. So Judas showed forth great faith, man, a great lively hope and expectation. When you think about King David, when he walked the earth, he had confidence through the Spirit. He knew the Lord was with him. This is why the Lord, he even said, if I made my bed in hell, he knew the Lord would be with him wherever he went. All right. We have to move with that same expectation if we're serving the Lord to the best of our ability. All right. We say hopeful elect, but as the scriptures say, Colossians, the 3rd chapter, we put on therefore as the elect. All right. Because to do anything else with this truth is to doubt the Heavenly Father's his ability. All right. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you believing that the Lord won't save you is almost like saying the Lord ain't a power of his word in a roundabout way. All right. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 2. I'm going to start at 6. It says, believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside, lest ye fall. Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail. It says, believe him, though. This is important. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good, not the worst case scenario. All right. And for everlasting joy and mercy. It says, look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And we don't have a record of the Lord forsaking one that trusted in him. He's undefeated when it comes to delivering the ones who trust in him. Now that deliverance looks a lot different depending on the account. Because in certain situations, death was the mercy. Yet through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, the Lord sustained them to go through all of those situations. All right. And we have to have that same expectation. When you really look at it, the elect in general, generally speaking, the elect, all things work for their benefit. Everything, even the things that don't look like it's going their way initially. And you have to have that understanding through the Spirit. All right. This is Romans chapter 8 and 28. And it reads, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh Shema Shah, to them who are the called according to his purpose. Doesn't mean it's always going to be comfortable, but it always works out for the benefit and the profiting of those servants, that they may be meet to be partakers. And we have to have that lively hope. When you know this through the Spirit and you understand that, we serve a power that is beyond comprehension, who has left our records as a testament that anything is possible with Yahweh Shema Shah. But you have to believe that personally. All right, this is Matthew 17 and 20. It says, and Yahweh Shai said unto them, because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you. We have to have that type of expectation through the Spirit. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight through the Spirit. But Lord willing, we be a part of that number. There should be a lively expectation of good things. As it says in Ecclesiastes, the 2nd chapter, ye that believe in the Lord, hope for good. If you fear the Lord, you shouldn't fear these circumstances of this world. All right? Lord willing, we be a part of that number. All things work for the good of them that love Yahweh Shema Shai. We have to believe that, not just generally speaking, but you have to believe that on a personal level, because there's going to come a point where we won't have access to these videos. You're going to have to learn to trust the Lord. But he's teaching you that now through the chastening that we go through. We're learning to love the Lord. We're learning to love and trust the Lord more and more every day. All right. This is Philippians. Salakia, Philemon. Salakia, it is Philippians. Salakia. Philippians 2:12. It reads, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God which worketh in you, both to will and to do of his good pleasure." So when you wake up and you have the name of Yahweh Shema Shah and you're serving the Lord to the best of your ability, you know, it's the Lord that worketh in you. It's not something that you've done. You haven't willed yourself to the Lord. It's really the mercy of the Heavenly Father. But that should come with a gratitude, and it should come with expectation. All right, that the Lord is a power that can and will deliver, man. All right, it's Philippians chapter 1, and I'm going to jump down to 5. It says, "For your fellowship in the gospel from the first day until now, being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach." I want to grab this in the NLT. All right, so it's Philippians chapter 1 and verse 5. And it reads, "For you have been my partners in spreading the good news about Hamashiach from the time you first heard it until now. And I am certain that God, who began the good work within you, will continue his work until it is finished on the day when Hamashiach Yahushua returns." So we have to have that confidence through the Spirit. This is why Yahushua always exhorted to endure. Whatever it is, bear it and endure it, because it gets greater later, Lord willing. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yahshua Allah. And a sincere salutation to all Yuakim, who are preaching this word and believing this word, and to the Akwak, who are believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Shalom.